Do you want undeniable proof and evidence that your third eye or your pineal gland is closed? I'm going to share this with you right now. The next 30 seconds, you're going to get the answer. Let me preface this by saying, let me build it, okay? I'm going to build a foundation on this concept or idea. Let's say you're born, imaginary world, you're born, and everybody around you is taking shit, feces, off the floor, and then rubbing it all over themselves, all over their face. Why are they doing that? Well, because it's a very special, sacred reason. And then when you're 20, 30, 40, however long it takes to get it, 60 years old, you just start to kind of get it. Open up your eyes a little bit. Oh my God, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? The reason why you're doing this is because everybody else around you is doing this. Let me say this again. The reason why you're doing this is because everybody else around you is doing it. So you are, and we all are, generally speaking, doing things that everybody else is doing. Why are we doing it? You think you have your own reasons, but you actually don't. You're doing things based on other people's behaviors and actions. Take a look at this for yourself. And then, hope to God, you build enough spiritual practice within yourself for you to snap out of it. Sometimes you do snap out of it. Why am I doing this? Why am I getting angry? Why am I drinking alcohol? Why am I smoking cigarettes? Why am I doing X, Y, and Z? You don't know why, but the social circumstances around you, people's behaviors around you, you learn that and you reenact that. Now, how do I know? Where is the proof that your third eye is closed? For example, let's look at another individual. Let's look at Joe over there, okay, or Bill or Bob. We look at the gentleman over there, his actions. How can we find proof and evidence his third eye is closed? Based on the food he's putting in his mouth. What food is Joe putting in his mouth? Is he putting corpses in his mouth? That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I rest my... ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we have irrefutable evidence that this person's third eye is closed. Closed for business. Sorry, come back next week. We're closed. We're renovating. That's your pineal gland. That's your third eye. Why? You can't see what you're doing. You're doing what everybody else is doing. Do you think if you grew up in a family that was conscious and sane, and they taught you, hey, we could go and kill a bunch of animals and slaughter them, cut their heads off, whatever is your fancy, and eat their dead bodies, or as a little crazy revolutionary thought, we can just eat fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes. We can just eat plants, the things that naturally come out of the ground. Wow, amazing. Do you think that 20 years later you'd be, you know what, I want to go back to eating meat? If you did that, your third eye is way more closed than you could possibly imagine. My friends, here give you a little anecdotal evidence. I have never in my life, being 29 years of age, met somebody that I truly want to emulate and displays such high quality of perception and insight and receptivity, empathy, all the positive traits that eats suffering dead bodies. Never, not even once. When I was 19 years of age, I'm 29 now, 10 years ago, nobody had to tell me anything. Nobody had to show me any videos. I didn't have to go seek out slaughterhouses for myself. I just ate some sausage, okay? And then I suddenly just realized the universe in front of me opened up and it felt like God was coming in speaking to me from a different dimension. Like in the scene Interstellar when they're going through the wormhole and then the girl sees some blob floating in the sky and she touches it and she says that's the first handshake. It was kind of like that. But when this thing opened up, it felt like God was talking to me. And the voice I heard very audibly in my ear, hey, just go look in the fridge. Okay, I was terrified because I knew what was coming. I opened the fridge, instantly I saw there's just a bunch of dead bodies in the fridge. What am I doing? Somebody needs to call the police immediately. Oh, never mind, it's animals. No big deal. They can't speak and nobody cares about them. Why? Because no empathy, no ethics on your behalf. So I ate a pig. I just ate a pig. I just actually saw this was a pig and I ate it. What the hell is wrong with me? Why did I do that? I don't know. Everybody else is doing it. It's normal. Exactly. That's why your pineal gland, your third eye, closed. Closed for business. Okay? It's under renovation. Then I admitted this many times in my YouTube channel, and now I fortunately have the answer why I did this. because after 19 years of age, up until 29 or 28, 27, is when I actually stopped. I've been vegan for close to 2 years now. I'm very happy to say. Why did I continuously go back to eating animals? Is it because the vegan diet doesn't work? No. Because I was hungry and I didn't know what else to eat. I wasn't prepared. I didn't know all the variety of fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, and in all the combinations that you can make, and all the protein you can get, and all the beneficial effects that you get without putting suffering, tortured animals inside of you, and all the painful effects you do get putting tortured, suffering, miserable, dead animals inside of you. That wasn't so readily available to me. So I would go 1 month eating just a vegan diet, and then decided one day, you know what, I'm hungry, what's the big deal? The animals are dying anyway, might as well say thank you, and go eat some chicken wings. And I ate some chicken wings. Wrong. My friends, the first thing that happened when I stopped eating suffering, dead, miserable corpses, animals, is I detoxed from the hormones that they add to the meat. I was realizing that it's like, I don't know, this kind of felt like I was a girl, how the hormones were playing out of me. Oh my God, these are animals' hormones that they're being fed. And this is inside of me. This is disgusting. It took a week for me to actually finally admit to myself, I'm not touching this animal products again. I'm not putting this in my mouth. And then the purification process started. Oh my God, I can't go back to that. You think I'm going to go eat a suffering? Okay, that's enough of that. So, coming back to me saying that I've never met anybody in this world that eats suffering, miserable, dead animals' corpses and has some super serious levels of perception, or is hardcore into spirituality, or really is seeking the truth. Let's be more precise here. If you're actually seeking the truth, most likely 99% out of 100, you're not eating meat. It just comes with the territory, because once you reach a certain stage, you realize you cannot do this anymore. It just doesn't work. It's like, do you think you're gonna go trek in elevation, climb some mountain, go to Kailash, and carry a bunch of bricks in your backpack? Nobody. Sorry, you're not gonna do it. Maybe you're the one special 1 out of 1,000. But why? Are you stupid? You're putting bricks inside of your backpack and going hiking a mountain in elevation? Oh, you're stupid. Let's quick put a helmet on you and make sure you have 2 people watching you at all times, because we don't know what you're gonna do. Okay? Are you gonna go climb a mountain and decide to jump off? Think you're gonna fly? No, we can't let you do that. So either you're stupid or you can't see clearly. Oh, you can't see clearly. Obviously, buddy, I challenge you, okay? Go watch some slaughterhouse videos. Go look at how pigs are being treated. Hey, it's bacon, it's pepperoni, put it on your pizza. Go look at how cows are being treated. By the way, pigs are the most mistreated animal on planet Earth. Why do you think? Because pig resembles a human being quite closely. Well, you may think, oh, that's funny, that's so nonsense. Yes, buddy, a pig is called, whatever. It's the similarities between a pig and a human are very evident. And in medicine, this is the case that pigs' organs can be replaced with human organs if in an emergency. And I think the human being is called like a long pig. So in some tribes and cultures, it's very appropriate. So people, human beings, I guess, this might conjecture that you're frustrated with your own human condition and then you're forcing it out on the pig, or seeing that the pig's somehow your animal nature and pigs get the most brutal punishment or treatment. Chickens also, but chickens, nobody cares about chickens because they're much less evolved. And then cows also, quite horrendous treatment. So again, my friends, do you think you're going to get away with the pain and torture and suffering and misery that those animals go through, then taking that byproduct and, I don't know, not doing something externally with it, but putting it inside of yourself? You think you're gonna get away with that? Again, if you answer yes, your third eye is closed. It's not open for business, okay? You got to months before the renovation finishes in your store, before anybody can go inside, before you can be open for business. Nobody, and it's not how it works. Again, when you work on this enough, when you get to a certain depth of your own internal perception and spiritual growth, you start to understand that you just cannot do this anymore. You cannot get away with eating miserable animals. It doesn't work. You will not, realistically speaking, be able to go down deeper into the deeper truths of life and doing this. You're interested in the truth and you're paying for the torture of animals. Do those two things harmonize? You may be asking, why do you keep on harping on this? Why is every single time you can't begin, why you always mention it? Because the culture needs to change. The society needs to change. The social norms need to change. It's not normal to abuse animals. We have laws against animal abuse, but you are an animal abuser right there. Sometimes I make these little shorts. They go on YouTube Shorts. It's like talking about veganism. You should see the boronic morons that are commenting on those posts. I don't know what it is. I think it's like it's a vacuum because I'm so far on the opposite extreme. I'm just not participating in the abuse anymore. And they are, and somehow that triggers them, and they think it makes them happy writing their negative nonsense. My friend, you all should get exactly what you should deserve, or what you deserve. Hey, here's a little revolutionary thought, volume 2. Everybody should get exactly what they deserve right now. I should get what I deserve. If I put these ideas and these valuable insights out on the internet, I should get exactly what I deserve, which is what? Prosperity, income, abundance, wealth, happiness, joy, bliss, everything positive. If you're paying a butcher to go miserably slaughter an animal, a sentient being that cried before it died, then you take that miserable flesh and you ingest it, you consume it, and it becomes you, you also should get exactly what you deserve. What is that? I have no idea. But my friends, mark my words, this cannot continue for much longer. Either my perception is way off and I really needed to get some evaluation going, or we are soon going to hit the brink point because the amount of animals that are suffering in these hell camps, do you think they don't have thoughts? They're just, if they think that there's a God or think that there's nature or some higher power, they're just begging every day. And let alone their own intentions, the fear that's emanating out of their bodies, the millions, I'm sorry, that's funny, I said millions, the billions of animals that have their lives lost in the hands of human beings, that energy, that vibration, that fear, that trauma, that pain, that chaos, it travels outwards. And you think we're going to be, oh, everything is peaches and cream, even though I live next to a slaughterhouse, which is, it may be 10,000 miles away from me, but buddy, that's happening right there. That is a concentration camp for pain and misery and suffering and torture for animals. That's where the word holocaust stems from, by the way. There's a little educational news flash. It doesn't come from a little situation that recently happened 100 years ago. It comes from how we treat animals. So I'm sure for millennia ago, maybe it would be a little bit more sensible, not much, but a little bit more sensible for you to go with a bow and arrow or some rock or something and go do something to an animal. Hey, I kind of get it, okay? If you're hungry and you don't know how to properly, agriculture is not some easy thing too. If you just plant some fruits and fruits are going to grow, no, it's not that simple. So you don't have any food to eat? What is it, you're going to let your kids starve? No, okay, let's go kill that pig. All right, I understand. But now with the Industrial Revolution, we've systematized it. And pigs, chickens, and cows, especially pigs, are being born as products, not as a sentient being. No, you're sitting in a cage. You don't even get a chance to move around. That's your whole cage, and you're seen as a biological machine to produce food for you. It's insane. I can't even properly go into that because it's too much. Not enough understanding why we're doing this, but we're doing this. And if you're contributing to this in any way, shape, or form, shame on you. I should be the first one to say it. I will be the first one to say it, and I will continue to say it for the rest of my life until this happens, until this injustice is continuing to happen. Shame on you. You should be looking yourself in the mirror and understand what a despicable piece of work you are. Knowing what you're doing and still doing it. No and wrong. Somebody should have told this to me, and I'm telling this to you. Somebody should tell this to you. In the same way that any action that I do or you do or any of us do that is reprehensible, that is morally incorrect. You know, it's funny, Sadhguru was just talking about morality on my YouTube channel, and he has ideas about morality, but regardless, things that go against nature, things that go against life, and slaughterhouses are directly as a result of that. If meat was like some sort of amazing thing, you eat it, it's like God, bliss and ecstasy. No, it's ignorance food. Meat is ignorance food. Again, you're an ignorant buffoon. What is the kind of food for you? Is slaughtered animals. That's what you should put on your plate. Because you're ignorant, you feed your ignorance, ignorance gets stronger. That's what you want, continuing eating meat. Is a good little commercial for you. Clip that, put it on a TV show. If you don't want to be miserable, if you don't want to be ignorant being what? You don't know what the hell you're doing, how you're doing, what's happening inside of you, outside of you. You don't know where you are, where you came from, where you're going. If that's you, that's the condition you're in. Too scared to admit that you don't know. You don't want any of that. Don't eat a vegan diet. Okay? It's much simpler. We've been evolved to eat a vegetarian vegan diet. My friends, I'm telling you again, personal anecdote. This can't be something scientifically studied, but it's my own personal experience. That now having gone 1 year or more without having a single animal's product in my body, except I eat honey, by the way, I eat honey. Honey is not something that comes out of beings' asses or tits, like cow's milk or eggs. It's an actual food that bees produce. Yes, they spit into each other's mouths. It's kind of repulsive, I guess. But the beneficial effects of honey are just too great for the weirdness of it. It is weird, I guarantee it. And I also don't appreciate the fact that bees are exploited, and especially if you're buying grocery store honey, for sure the bees have been exploited, killed during the wintertime because it's cheaper to kill them than to take care of them. Wrong, it's ethically wrong. So most likely I'll be, in the future, if things progress, I'll be taking care of bees and making honey. And coinciding with bees to harvest honey. Because honey is fantastic. It's a yogic, it's a superfood. It's like it's amazing. I can't say the same thing for cheese. Disgusting. Milk, repulsive. Belongs in a baby's cows. Okay? Eggs comes out of a chicken's ass. It's an unfertilized reproductive organ. It's a menstrual cycle. You're eating that. Again, you're blind. You can't see what you're doing. You need to open this up and actually see what you're doing. A chicken basically takes a shit and you're going to put that in your mouth? Buddy, we can't be friends. I'm telling you, we got to stay away from each other. I cannot deal with people like this. It's just... Anyways, I'm going too far. And then especially, you chop the head of a chicken and eat its flesh with all the blood and sinews and... I remember like 3-4 years ago when I'm getting closer to my final dropping this. I'm like, okay, whatever, who cares? I'll go eat some chicken wings. I'm eating these chicken wings, and I just have to pretend that I'm not eating this. Because that's how painful it got, how intense it was. I'm like, oh, what am I eating? I better distract myself with some TV shows or something. And then I look inside, and I look at the sinews, the tendons that connect the joints with the however it works. I'm seeing that. I rip a piece out with my teeth or my hands, and then I see a blood vein that's circulating the meat. Okay, that's too much. Okay, it's too much. You see, when this is open, you can't just do this. Okay, you think your sanity is gonna let you get away with doing insane things? So this is just a little bit of proof that your third eye is closed, completely closed. If you watch this video to the end and you're still eating meat, congratulations, I applaud you. Because either you have some serious resolve, steely resolve, you're either that, or you're completely lost in the sauce. You're what we call a hard case. We're gonna need a tractor to get you out of the pit that you've dug yourself. Or some of this is speaking to you, and you're starting to get it. Okay, yeah, I gotta understand. By the way, if you're still eating meat and you're on the fence, you're like, yeah, this is wrong, but it's still, all right, I'll give you a little bit of a pass. Not a lot of a pass, but just a little bit. Okay, but you need to cross over the line, buddy. What are you doing? What are you doing harming the planet and other sentient beings? You think you're here for eternity? There's no consequences? No, buddy, you're here for a short time. You better make this planet better off right now, today. At least not do some extravagant things, go build something, but just don't do the harmful things. Hey, here's a wild idea. Just don't punch people in the face. You're gonna do great things if you just don't punch people in the face. If you're punching people in the face, you need to stop. If you're not punching people, so, oh my God, you're amazing. You're not hurting anybody. Wow, we should applaud you. Goodbye.